Hello everybody, I'm sure you have heard of this YouTuber named His Story.
Sat down at the table when my brother-in-law slapped me on the shoulder and pointed up at the
What
ghost.
the fuck? And I would like to react to his channel. Now the first video we're going to be reacting to is his first ever video. Let's react to it.
A teenager tortured my dog for fun, then threatened to do it.
Okay. Insane starter, what the hell? That guy isn't... What? Okay, buddy.
Again, my dog had gone missing for a few hours, and when I finally found him, he was standing outside another house in my neighborhood. He was covered in bruises, his eye was swollen shut, and blood was still dripping down his side. The teenager walked out and didn't apologize. He just told me to keep my dog on a leash, or he'd do it again. I rushed him.
Now this is just... animal
to the vet, but he was too far gone.
This isn't alright.
I had to put him down just to spare him the suffering.
No!
That dog was the only memory I had left of my late wife, Helen. So I called in a few favors.
That's crazy.
And found out everything about this kid. His school, his job, his girlfriend.
He's like 4 years old. How does he have a job? What the hell? Oh no, he's a teenager. How does he have a job?
He was enrolled at a Catholic private school. And when I told them what he did...
Wait, Catholic and he... Okay.
...him within the week. His girlfriend was vegan and an animal lover, so convincing her to break up with him was easy.
Yeah,
I sprinkled in a few lies, and she destroyed his car for revenge. Then my friends and I posed as customers at his job and filed complaints until his manager fired him on the spot. His life was gone within...
Bozo! Yeah, what the hell?
...days. And as he was walking home after getting fired, I ran him over with my truck.
What is that ending, bro? Wait.
And as he was walking home after getting fired, I ran him over with my truck.
Okay. Now let's react to his most famous video. 74 million views, and it was made...
My twin brother...
That is not your twin brother. Anyway. Oh my god. A couple of months ago.
Chris and I were 9 when we learned Morse code. We tapped messages on the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident and the doctor said he'd never wake up, I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. Are you there?
That's smart.
I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing.
He got into a car accident. Was he driving?
Are you there?
At 9.
Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. See you tomorrow, Chris. A week later, Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost fell out of my chair. I grabbed a nurse, and she barely looked up. They're reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this? Until he taps back." He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son. I don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's organs. But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die and scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short. SOS. I grabbed his hand. Chris, if that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said this is very common with families who aren't ready to let go. My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. You're not signing anything until you come see for yourself. I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. Ask him anything. The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes. His mother's name, tapped out letter by letter. By the 10th question, she said, "He's still alive. We can't move him." Weeks later, I asked Chris what kept him fighting when everyone gave up. Heard Mom...
Why did the room turn purple?
Me a corpse. Heard Dad say donate my organs. Heard all of them leave, except you. I asked why. I wanted to see you too. My twin brother Chris and I...
That's a good video. I can see why that's his most popular. What's this?
We sat down at the table when my brother-in-law slapped me on the shoulder and pointed up
What the fuck?
a challenge sign. All right, you and me. All 12 with
chili
no
thing.
loser buys dinner for a month. Milk's for babies anyway. I looked up and read the rules under the little skulls. Finish all 12, no
That
milk,
looks the
no
most
water.
AI
no
shit
The waitress
ever.
slowed down as she passed and tapped that last line. Everybody says yes to this one, sweetie. And then they're begging me for milk I'm not even allowed to bring them. He just waved her off and ordered us 2 platters. No offense, man, but I've watched you sweat over a mild taco. So honestly, this is gonna be the easiest dinner I ever won. The plates came out steaming, and he tore into his first wing like he
My prediction is he's gonna start talking about the economic state of the world and that he's gonna fly with mosquitoes and take over the world, and they're gonna start dancing on the moon.
making a point. By the third one, his forehead was shiny, and he was talking way faster than before. See, this isn't even heat. It's just flavor and people. I had my head down working through mine with my eyes watering, and he loved every second of it. I mean, look at him. He's basically crying already. I told you he'd fold. He grabbed my sister by the sleeve and pulled her over. Babe, come on, back me up here. Does he honestly look like he's gonna finish that? She leaned in and looked at both plates before pulling her arm back. Honey, his plate's almost empty, and yours isn't. His eye twitched, and he let go of her.
Yeah, he's
By the next
cooked.
wing, he was fanning
His
his mouth and
YouTube
waving the
story
waitress
is gonna
over.
destroy
Milk,
him.
I need. Just bring me a milk. She pointed at
Oh
the sign
my
without
God.
slowing down. Rules are rules, hun. His face.
Okay, we live on. What the fuck?
Come on, back me up here. Does he honestly look like he's gonna finish that? She leaned in and looked at
No.
both plates
Yes,
before
he
pulling
does,
her arm
actually.
back. Honey, his plate's almost empty, and yours isn't. His eye twitched, and he let go
Yeah.
of her. By the next wing, he was fanning his mouth and waving the waitress over. Milk. I need milk. Just bring me a milk.
Milk's
She
for
pointed at
babies,
the sign
apparently. That's what
without
he said
slowing
at the
down.
beginning of the
Rules are rules, hun. His face was red and dripping, and his hands had started to shake. He spun
Well, they
around to the
cannot be
next
that
table,
spicy.
snatched the little carton off the kid's tray, and chugged it right there in front of everyone. The kid stared up at him. Mom, the spicy man took my milk. Hunched over a stolen carton of milk. I swallowed the plate. Hunched over a stolen carton of milk. I
No.
swallowed my last wing and wiped my hands before sliding.
He's
the
kind
second
of red,
question.
but-
Then I slapped him on the shoulder. Drink up. Milk's for babies, right? We sat down at the table. with my
Okay,
brother.
that was one of the best. He's better than Zachary Films. I don't care. Oh my god! Look at that one. Look at that. He has like sunglasses on. That means it's cool.
I shot up out of bed the second I heard glass shattering, grabbed my trusty bat from underneath,
I bet you that I will not be able to find a video by his story, which is actually has a normal like 5-second beginning. Like actually,
I shot
look.
up out of bed the second I heard glass shattering, grabbed my trusty
What?
bat from underneath, and flew down the stairs before I could think. A shattered vase was spread across the floor, and my dog's crate sat wide open, empty. I called Biscuit's name through the whole house and got nothing
Biscuit!
back. Then I spotted
Where's
a cracked
Biscuits?
phone glowing in the broken glass, dropped by whoever knocked the vase over running out. The screen had one message on it: bring the Frenchie to the warehouse on Lowell by 6. I jumped up and down in my kitchen.
What?
This is sick. This is literally John Wick. So I tossed the bat aside, dropped onto the
Bro
couch, and
just
watched
got
the whole
robbed and he said, "This is awesome." It's literally John Wick. Shut
again to up. Then I threw on my only suit and tie, slid on a pair of blacked out shades, and
This
spun
is
a pencil once
insane.
before holstering
This is
my
Aura.
jacket like a gun. They have no idea
He's
who
gonna
they
stab
just
him with
messed
the
with.
pencil
Every
like
last
John
one
Wick.
of them is about to
That'd be
face
cool.
my wrath. I pushed through the warehouse door, and the first guy charged me, so I threw the hardest punch of my life, missed, and hit the wall behind him. While I shook out my hand, he wound up to swing, so I flinched and tripped into a stack of pallets. They toppled onto his head and knocked him out cold.
that's a
I cracked my neck
trick shot.
like I'd meant to do that. Another guy pulled a gun, but right as he aimed, my cheap suit pants split down the back. I bent down to check just as he fired, so the bullet sailed over my head, pinged off a little pole, and
This is the
ricocheted
best.
back into it. He crumpled to the floor crying.
What the
I
fuck?
to a cage in the back, guarded by the biggest man I'd ever seen. He lifted me off the floor by my collar while my legs kicked at nothing. But Biscuit shoved his squeaky bone through the
Biscuit's
bars.
there.
The giant stepped back onto it, and 400 pounds came down on his own head. I grabbed Biscuit and held him tight.
Yep.
Then the boss rounded the corner with a gun, so I panicked and threw my pencil as hard as I could, just like the movie. It missed by a mile, clipped a propane tank, and the blast sent him through the window into the night sky like a rocket.
This.
The place caught fire, so I carried
I'm
Biscuit
liking
out,
this.
and the second we cleared the door, the warehouse exploded behind us, and I never looked back. I didn't land a
Joker!
single punch in there, but when people
Hospital
ask
thing.
how one guy leveled a warehouse and got his dog back, I fix my tie and say I trained
What?
for it.
Now let's try and find... Oh my god! It's a video of him playing football or...
Ran across the field and got in the ref's face. Are you blind? That was a foul. How did you get certified, ref? I dropped my head and stared at my cleats. My friend jogged over from his position. Dude, is this why you said you used to love soccer? She does this every game? Since I was 8. In all that time, no one had ever stopped her. But through the commotion, a man in a league polo tucked a clipboard under his arm and started walking over. The ref ignored her and started signaling for play to resume. You should be fired! When he kept ignoring her, she turned on me instead. What? Stop standing around. That's why he didn't call it. The other parents went quiet, and a few moved their chairs down the line.
Massive,
the man with the clipboard stopped beside the ref. Ma'am, Tom Reyes, State Commissioner. I've been timing your behavior for 3 games. She let out a laugh and waved him off. You can't sideline me. My husband donates to this league. Donations don't override parent conduct. You signed it. He held out a printed sheet. She wouldn't take it, so he set it down on the grass. You're suspended from every state-affiliated youth soccer field for 1 calendar year, including your sons. The officials walked away and the whistle blew. I kept glancing at her chair out of habit, but it was empty every time. After the game, my coach pulled me aside. You played different today. I'd never played a game without trying not to disappoint her. It was the first time I just played soccer. My mom ran across the field and got in the ref's face.
Calling it soccer is outrageous. Okay, guys, we're gonna watch one more video. Ooh.
I got banned from an all
you can eat. Okay. Let's see what this video is about.
I got banned from an all-you-can-eat buffet, so I made sure the owner never forgot my face. I spent the whole starving myself on purpose. So when I walked in, I loaded my first plate so high, the server stopped and watched me carry it to my table. I could see the steam rising off the ribs as I sat down. I took my first bite and savored every second of it. That was just the start. Second plate, I went back for lasagna, mashed potatoes, and a pile of garlic.
Grabbing
on my third plate, the servers started slowing down every time they walked past my table. One of them stopped and just stared at me like I was eating her groceries. By my 5th plate, I caught a tiny Asian man peeking out at me from behind the soda machine every few seconds. Plate 7. I stacked another round of ribs on my tray like building blocks and grabbed a handful of brownies from the kids section. That was it for him. He marched out blocks and grabbed a handful of brownies from the kids section. That was it for him. He marched out from behind the machine with 2 workers behind him. Stop eating. You here since 4 o'clock. My cooks are crying. I pointed at the sign on the wall. It says all you can eat. He told me to get out. I stood up, walked right past him, and started making plate 8. He pulled out his phone and called the cops. I sat back down and kept eating. I was mid-bite with sauce dripping down my chin when 2 officers walked through the front door. Every head in the
room turned. The police because he ate too much.
The manager threw his hands in the air. This man eats 7 plate. 7! I call you 10 minutes ago, and he go back for more. One of the officers took off his hat and rubbed his whole face with his hand.
Arrested.
Sir, could you just go, please? They walked me out. I still had food on my plate. The manager followed us to the door. You banned. Forever. I put your picture on the wall so nobody forget you face. So I got revenge. The next week I sat down at my kitchen table and designed a flyer. Free lobster tail night. First 100 guests eat free. I printed 200 copies and spent a whole afternoon sliding them under windshields all over town. That Friday night, I bought a box of ribs from the place across the street and sat on the hood of my car in his parking lot. By 6, the lot was full. By 7, people were lined up out the door waving flyers in the air demanding their free lobster. The manager came outside sweating through his shirt.
Lobster.
I don't have lobster. This is a buffet. What I look like Gordon Ramsay. A woman in the front started banging on the window. A man in the back yelled they weren't leaving until they got their lobster. Someone picked up a pile of dog poop off the ground and launched it right at his face.
This is the most random YouTuber ever. Someone picked up a pile of dog what? And then threw it at his face?
Flyers in the air demanding him, and that's when he saw me. I held up a rib and took a bite. Delicious.
Okay guys, that's all for the video today. I'll see you in the next one.